Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Terrifying Tuesday on this channel where we talk about all things horror, and today we have to talk about The Exorcist Believer. We're going to give you our non-spoiler review of The Exorcist Believer, so let's jump right into it. Alright, so The Exorcist Believer is not the most amazing film, but it isn't a terrible film. The original Exorcist is a classic and cannot be compared to anything else. So when you set out to make a sequel to a movie that is really in a league of its own in terms of how much of an iconic movie it really is, you're setting yourself up for a lot of people to really start to dismiss this idea of the sequel, to really start to kind of pick it apart at every turn. But I'm here to tell you that this movie does hold up a little bit to the original. It does connect to it, at least. Here's the other thing when you're looking at this movie to consider. It does move at a much faster pace than the original movie. And I have to give it that, because the original movie did have a lot of slow moments. Even though it is an iconic film and it's one that I can watch over and over and over again, this one did move a little quicker. I was a little worried going into this movie that I wouldn't care about these two young girls, because did they up the ante? Yes, they did. They made it two girls getting possessed instead of just one. Now, the trailer shows you this, that there are two girls getting possessed instead of one. But I went into it kind of concerned, going, is this going to be gimmicky? Is this going to be something like, oh, this is the next incarnation of this movie, so we have to do this for the sake of doing it? Or is this going to actually have something to do with the story in general? And I can tell you that it does have something to do with the story. Both girls' possession is explained in a rather well way. And not only that, the story seems to fit within its own space. It doesn't rely on the original Exorcist to tell its story. Even though it does have some connective tissue, it does actually do its own thing. And I have to say that that was probably the better way to do it. Because if they had tried to connect it too much more than they actually did, it probably was going to hurt the film. While I do wish that things were explored a little bit more, the movie was already pushing a long runtime. And with this longer runtime, I understand why we didn't get more exploration into the lives of these little girls, the lives of their parents. But I think what they did was excellent. The parts that they showed us really made us care about both these parents and the little kids, because that's what we're really dealing with here. This, like the original, is about the parents trying to save these little kids who have become possessed. That's what the original Exorcist was about, and that's what this one is about too. It is about the family and how far you would go to protect your family, and what would you do. And essentially, yes, they decide that the best option is to get an exorcism done. None of that is a spoiler, and I don't want to spoil anything for you, but things don't go quite the way the family wants them to, and there is some pretty heavy drama in the movie. There's also some suspense, some shocking moments. There are some legit jump scares in this movie as well. So overall, I don't think this movie did too bad. Now, the one thing that this movie did really well was set up the possibility of sequels, just by it coming along, really. Without any twists or turns or anything, this does bring new characters into the fold, people that we can follow going forward. this is a good thing, because regardless of if you want them to continue on from this sequel or not, they are planning on doing more sequels to The Exorcist. So in that case, I do want to see how they do this, how they actually make this happen, because they have set something up by introducing new characters, by introducing a whole new idea to some of the ways that they're incorporating things in this movie. They can do whatever they want. And it's up to us whether we choose to be excited about that or not. And I personally think in the age of The Conjuring and Insidious that there is room for The Exorcist to get a couple more movies that don't have to follow all the same characters. Maybe they only follow a few. Maybe they only follow one. We don't know. But whatever they have planned going forward, the sky really becomes the limit. The movie at least did that right. So I give this movie 3.5 stars, and I would give it more, but it just isn't as amazing as the original. But then I am that person that loves the original movie. It's one that I probably saw way too early in my life, and I kind of watch it every Halloween. So I'll be adding this one to my Halloween watch list in the future. And I'll be excited to see what they have coming for the next installment of The Exorcist. However, I want to know what you guys think. Alright everybody, as always, we want to know what you guys think, so make sure you're leaving us a comment in the comment box below. Don't forget to share this video with all of your friends so they can be a part of the conversation as well. And then don't forget to hit that like button as hard as you can. It helps the channel, it's free, and we appreciate it. Miko says we need more subscribers. And look at this face. You don't want to disappoint Miko, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell while you're down there so you don't miss a single video we do. Then friends, at the end of the day, I know it, you know it, and Miko knows it. Fandom is family.